John, welcome, Content Circle Creator. Great to have you here. We'll
Absolutely.
start by asking you, in one sentence, who are you? And what were you hoping to accomplish with UGC?
Yeah. John Blakesley, born and raised out in Idaho. Really just wanted to kind of free my time up with content. It was actually supposed to be kind of like a more in the background side hustle, but as you can see, turned into a little bit more than that.
What was the moment you realized, maybe it's not a side hustle, maybe I can do this as like a career?
Low key, couple months ago, I'm not kidding you, I was sitting in the back of over at my day job in a big meeting training thing, and I pulled out TikTok and I was like, hold up, I made over 300 bucks already today. What am I doing here? Like, yo, hold on. But yeah, low key.
That's actually incredible. I remember the first time I had a viral video and I checked my phone and like the next day it tallied it at like over $1,000. This was during the creativity rewards program. Uh,
Yeah.
and I just remember like being like, yeah, I'm not going back to work.
Yeah. You know what? That first viral video, like low key changes the game. But
It really does. It's a lot to learn that, but once you're there, you're good, you know.
yeah,
So what were you
yeah.
doing before? What was that job?
So I was a Verizon sales associate. So I was that little guy standing there when you will go into the store and all the phone stuff. But it,
Got it.
it was all right. It wasn't nothing bad or anything. It was just
That,
brain rot.
that was like a full-time job. How many hours and what was your income?
Yeah. So 5 days a week, give or take 40 hours. I'd maybe make 19 to $21 an hour once you average it out.
Yeah.
So really nothing.
So what were you hoping to solve by joining Content Circle and becoming a creator?
Yeah. So when I joined Content Circle, that was kind of like that was low key a minute ago.
Yeah.
Kind of been in here for a while, but I vividly remember what I was doing. I was driving home from mowing a lawn. I was trying to do like virtual wholesaling. You've probably seen the ads for that stuff. And like my third deal had just like fallen through and I was low key crashing out. And I saw your IG story. You had the Porsche up there and you were like, my creator's making,
Yeah.
whatever a month. And I was like, all right, screw it. Let's give this a shot. And then, yeah, low key rest is history.
Yeah. I do believe UGC for most people is just the absolute best way to get to 10K a month. Um,
Yeah.
Now, if you want to make 100K a month, it's probably not the way to do that, but it's a really good starting point to get to 10K. So that's why.
Yeah.
Because I did the same thing as you, sales job, left the sales job, did content full time, UGC, big brands. It's just, take some time if you really want to get to like 20K plus a month, but that 5 to
Right.
10K a month you can do relatively quick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was the fastest visible win that you had after joining? This could be like a brand deal or like your first check from content. Like
Yeah.
what was first win?
That first kind of big win, I would say, was the Oasis. You remember that Oasis water app?
Yeah, but that's Cormac.
Yep, core. Yep.
Yeah, his app.
Yep. Yeah. We had a little squad put together. That was kind of like my first official kind of like
Yeah,
with the
it was you, Bree, two Brees actually, I think, and someone else. Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I believe there was four of us.
What was that deal?
It was just traditional UGC. It was make content around the water app, show off the app's features, and then there was a base fee. I think it was like 600 bucks. I got that first month. It was pretty hype. I ain't gonna lie. I was pretty like I was on the chairlift up snowboarding when he Venmoed me, and I was like, dude, let's go. Like, but
That's
yeah,
awesome. I love that for you. Um, how long do you think that was from when you started to getting that first paid deal?
first money in the account probably about 60 days.
60 days. So like 2 month period from like brand
Mm-hmm.
to getting deposits into your account.
Yep, yep.
Cool.
And I wasn't as locked in as I should have been, because I wasn't viewing it as like a full like all in, which was my failure. But yeah, 60 days. I mean, really, nothing too crazy.
Good to hear, dude. So your best month so far from that starting point to now, like what has been the most, number of deals or total revenue? Like what's
Yeah.
your best month been?
So the best like amount of money I made in a month from content was a little over 7,000. Um, nothing earth shattering, but that's low key big bread.
Basically like six
From my
figures.
perspective, it's really good. Let's see. Yeah, did like I've done for sure over like 130,000 GMV on TikTok Shop. Started to kind of work with the Nibble agency. They're very professional. Um, so yeah, low key like last month was my best month.
Amazing, dude. Great job. Yeah, Nibble, I actually worked with them too. Brian Blum is very, very smart guy. And he helped me get like some consistent deals when
Yeah,
I went through a little social media thing and lost some big brand deals. So he helped me out, which was cool. Um, but great. Yeah, that's what we like to hear. 7K is like 7-10K range is where we can see most creators get to like pretty comfortably.
mhm.
Without even like really turning it on and like going crazy volume and stuff yet. Like that's like you still have more to go. Um, but it's a good benchmark being in that kind of range. So good job.
Yeah, I feel like once you start making like $1,000 a week from it, you're like, okay, hold on now, like, because that's like low key what people be making full grown adults their year salary, like give or take 60K.
Yeah.
Doing that on the side with some videos, it's like, hold on, like,
Dude, that's what I try to tell people is I went to college. We spent like 100 grand between myself and my parents to put me through college. And then I got a sales job that paid me $50,000 a year, right? And it's 100 grand. And then versus, I've bought into mentorships and stuff like that before. If you pay 3 or 4 grand and you're making 5 to 10 grand right away, that is just so much better than 4 years of college. I don't know
yeah,
how college is seen in such a good light right now. It's a little criminal. Like it is truly the best info product of all time.
yeah.
Seriously.
Well, and it operates in like a crazy vacuum. You can only get the loan for college. So it's like, well, guess we're dropping 50 bands on this. But yeah.
Yeah, you can't get that loan any other way other than going
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
so what was your following size when you started? Like were you a big creator or where were you starting from?
Oh, the ground. Big zero. Um,
Did
of course,
brands care at all that you were just a brand new creator, or is that why it took you some time to get to, your first deal?
well, to that point of I don't personally know, but I can almost guarantee if you have already something and then you're hopping into content circle, you're going to be kind of accelerated in. Whereas, like, I had to learn how to hold the camera, how to move my arm to make it entertaining. It did take me a little while to not be robotic, kind of on screen in TikTok. Um, but yeah, the brand's really, of course, if I was sitting there trying to ask for like a $10,000 retainer, they're gonna be like, all right, bro, who is this kid? But like, you know, entry level $300 to $600 a month retainer for an app or you know kind of just a supplement product or something that's very feasible.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay, good. So they don't really care. They just want to know that you can do the content and they're willing to take a little risk. I think that's why the portfolio is so big and we have an emphasis on that is like
yeah,
make sure you have a good portfolio, put it together. And that way when you go to brands, they have a little bit of confidence. If you have no socials and no portfolio, you cannot get deals. Uh,
yeah,
and then once you do work with those brands like Oasis, you can take the best videos that you had, put them into your portfolio, and then the next brand, you can be like, I just worked with Oasis, I got them 100,000 views. Now I'm going to charge $1,000 per month, and you just kind of step your way up like that, um, which is amazing. So, um, were you doing mostly outreach or mostly inbound deals, or like where's your split coming from there?
so honestly, kind of just I'm more kind of just doing my thing, and then it kind of comes to me a little bit. The Nibble one, that was one you put me on, and then there's a couple I'm doing in the background that are like TikTok shop retainers, where it was just like, hey, we see your stuff, we want to pay you, and I'm just like, all right, bet, you know, you're offering some bread, the product's decent, let's run it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, totally makes sense. We work with a few agencies that we like to give good creators opportunity to go work for, like Nibble, like Plutus. We did work with Evo before. And I like giving people those opportunities like you that have put their time in, made a good portfolio, worked with some brands. I feel way more confident introducing you to brands at that point, but someone that's
Yeah.
brand new, it's like I basically put my reputation on the line. If I go to
Yeah.
an agency and say, this creator is good, they start working with the creator and the creator is like not consistent, not good at posting, like whatever it is, then they're not going to want to work with us anymore. Right. So I have to kind of wait until creators stick through it and they get these deals themselves and kind of feel it out. And then I
Mhm.
can introduce them because they're hungrier. They know the money's real. Um,
Yeah.
a better fit at that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think you definitely have to have skin in the game because, you know, I know back in the day, like there was definitely people who would join and they would just expect like, where's my $10,000? And
Dude, and
I
it's stressful because I feel like in terms of communities and stuff, I'm there aren't many people who go out of their way to like actually get people paying opportunities, you know? Like if you look at someone like a Shelby Sapp or copywriter guys, like they're not going out of their way to get introductions for people and make people money that much. They're mostly just scaling pure info like Shelby
yeah,
does. Shelby's not introducing you to brands, right? So that you can go close for people. She's just teaching you. So I go out of my way to make sure that people are getting those starter deals, like you're talking about with Oasis. Um,
hmm,
which it's not a ton of money. I'm not going to make you 10 grand your first month, but it's still making you 500 bucks, $1,000 your first month through like what you've done. Like you do the work and then I can also do the work on my end to make sure you're getting a good start. So
yeah,
that's really I think is what's different about Content Circle, which is cool.
yeah.
Um, what gear do you use for UGC? Is it just your phone or what do you
Yeah.
use?
I have iPhone 13 Pro, tried and true. I literally just have some basic phone mount. I've got a tripod, I've got a camera, but I rarely ever use any of that.
Yeah.
Um, I was kind of like, how do I make this better? So I do use the camera very occasionally, but as far as TikTok Shop and any of like the brand deals, it's strictly with my iPhone. Um, Kind of just like the you know, I don't know what style you want to call it, but
Yeah.
I
I
have it
call
like
it like organic UGC, like iPhone storytelling, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, good. I mean, that's pretty much everyone needs is just an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, you can do UGC. You can make your 5, 10K a month, like pretty much no problem. The only thing is most people just aren't consistent or they stop posting or they're not trying to work with brands or apply or whatever.
yeah,
That's really the only reason people don't succeed. It has nothing like making good content is not that hard. Just look at where there's natural light coming in and like make sure it looks good and then put text over your head and have a good hook. Like if you do
yeah,
that, you're actually pretty good at content. Um, but
yeah,
obviously more goes into the negotiation part of it, you know, making sure you're getting paid what you're worth and all of that. But in terms of content, it's not that hard. Pretty much everyone can do it, I think.
yeah. Well, and there's always like there's so many different styles. Everyone has a different way of doing it, a little bit, and sometimes that uniqueness does help people a lot. But
Love it. So what do you think the community helped you with most?
yeah, that I hoped you would ask something about that. That is kind of like the big. This is just my personal experience. The brand deals are really awesome. The info is really awesome, but really like the weekly calls, the community, the wins channel, that's what kind of like makes this more real. Cause like, I'm out in Idaho. There's really no, there's probably people out here doing this, but like, my only connection to the content space is pretty much, well, was the Discord. Now it's on WAP, but you know, it's all virtual now, which is pretty epic. So you can really do this from anywhere. And you have access to the community with the weekly calls. Um, and I don't know, we have a pretty good like squad going on right now.
We have a good group. We have some really
Like
impressive creators. We have some like people like Thomas and Jake. And then we have like goats like, CJ's part of it, Hector Serrano, just guys that are just ripping content at the very peak. So yeah, I'm super proud of the group and guys like you that started from nothing and now are able to leave your job and do content and make 7K a month. Like that's I'm so proud. Like that's amazing, you know?
No, and it's kind of cool because like like say Ashton, he got over with the nibble deal, and like we're just DMing in the background, and I would have only, I would have only ever known him through this. So
Yeah.
it's just if
Yeah.
you don't know anyone in the space, you kind of do need to be in some sort of a community. So
100%, 100%. Ashton is also a stud and he's in Tampa. So I think we're going to do like a Tampa meetup because we already have like 10 people in the community in Tampa. So that'll be coming pretty soon.
dude, I'm hyped.
Um, few more questions. If you had to make $1,000 in 2 weeks with UGC, like what would you do step by
Mm,
step to your first $1,000 2 weeks in?
okay, I'd get on. Okay, I get on side shift. Make sure I had a portfolio. I make some mock, like starting from complete nothing.
Yep,
Let's see.
absolutely nothing.
All right, I make some mock content, so I had proof of concept. I just upload them to some random TikTok account, so at least the brands can see something's there. Um, I make a portfolio on Canva, nothing crazy, and I just go crazy. Applying for stuff, just doing a bunch of outreach. Like, what can I make happen? I mean, I don't think you could get paid in 2 weeks, but you could definitely have stuff locked up going in 2 weeks for sure.
I think
Um,
I think a lot of brands do like two like biweekly pay now.
mhm.
But yeah, let's say if you started today at the end of the month and then, you make your portfolio, it takes a couple days, you start applying like on the third or fourth day, then you get those deals like within the first week. And then yeah, it would take like 2 weeks to get paid out from when you start those deals. Um, but all in all, you kind of sound like me. Like, that's exactly what I would say is make your
Yeah.
make mock videos, have a TikTok that you can post to, and then go on SideShift or The Right Fit or Billo or any of these platforms and just spend your time applying. Like in business, Hormozy talks about this, you should be doing sales and marketing for yourself all the time. Until you have millions of people seeing your stuff every day, you should always be doing sales and marketing. Even as a creator, that holds true. Like you need to be out putting yourself out there so people know about you. Um, yeah. So I think you nailed it.
Well, and there's so many deals out there. Now if you want to work with the brand, that's up to you. But like if you're really hungry for it, you could lock something up pretty quick. But
Yeah. I mean, we see that happen. Like Thomas joined, got a deal his first hour. We post a deal almost every day in the Discord now. So, but the thing is, I just don't like giving people who just start deals versus people that have been in for like a month or two, because at that point they just have way more experience and they're going to do great. If I give it to a brand new creator, they might not appreciate that opportunity or try really hard or even have the skill set to make it good at that point.
well, and it's kind of like then if brands are like, hold on, content circle, this guy's kind of trash.
Yeah, exactly. Then I
Long term, right? It's best for the whole group and the individual to just kind of say, let's get you up standing, walking, and then running, and then let's get it going. But
right, exactly. And then like that's what I feel like it's at now is people who are in content circle and going to those group calls are killers. Like again, all the people we've talked about so far, including you. Um, that's pretty much all I have you know, is where can people find you on social media? Actually, before we get into that, what's next for you? Like, where do you want to take it from here?
yeah, so that is something that I've been kind of just pondering about in the background quite a bit. Because I'm very confident in my ability now to make at the absolute bare minimum like $1,000 a week.
Yeah.
Um, Pretty much just through like some brain rot TikTok shop videos.
Yeah.
But I do want to have like a personal brand, so I've been starting to post some things on a separate TikTok account, kind of showing a bit more personalized stuff, showing what I'm doing around the UGC.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, definitely one day. I really don't know, honestly. Who knows what I'll be doing 6 months from now?
Love it. Okay. Well, we can actually work on that. So we've had some people come through Content Circle and they either go off to launch their own app once they learn what a good business model it is. Yeah, we're actually going to have Sebastian Turner, who has launched a couple apps, very, very successful guy who used to be a creator. He joined about a year ago, Content Circle. Since then, he's gone on an absolute tear. So there's that pathway. There is the personal brand influencer pathway. Guys like Hector Serrano kind of do that. You can also just go start a product-based business. Thomas is doing that. So there's all these different paths that you can take it. And then probably the most common one is an agency, either an AI automation agency, knowing everything you know about content, you can get a lot of businesses to work with. Uh,
Yeah.
or you just stay a creator. Like many people are enjoying just making 10, 15K a month as a creator, and they're just going to keep doing that. Like I talked to a few people, Joe Lemon being one of them. I'm like, Joe, like you've been really good at this for a while. Like, what are you going to do next? Like, kind of chilling, man. I'm enjoying traveling and I just want to keep doing UGC. And I'm like, okay,
Dude,
great.
yeah.
Oh,
Joe, bro, like bro's like Joe's always on some random shenanigans, but
yeah, he's traveling a lot. But yeah, where can people find you and follow you?
so I'll be honest, not really active on IG, but on my main TikTok account, like the personal one, it's called John B Yaps. And then if you do want to peep my shop account, it's called John B Shop Zero. Um, straight brain rot, but it's the method low key. But
It is low-key the method for TikTok.
yep, yep. But yeah, no, I'm gonna spam in the John B Yaps one quite a bit more. So some real content on there coming soon.
Great. I love to hear that. Well, John, thank you so much for joining and congrats so far on everything you've been able to accomplish. It's very good.
Yep. No, I'm blessed to be in Content Circle. If you guys are on the fence, I'm unpaid for saying this. It's low key worth it. Stop sleeping on it.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. We'll do an in-person event and we'll go grow it even more. So,
Okay.
all right.
All right.